when you watch this video, in the comments, put down what your purpose is. What is your purpose? Peace. Now, the context for purpose would be waking up every single day and feeling great because you're doing the thing that sets your life on fire, sets your soul on fire. You know, since 2022, I've woken up and I knew that every single day I'm in my divine purpose. Too many coincidences, too many synchronicities, too many epiphanies, too many kismets. And I know it is not. I know that going to a job that I hate is not purpose. Being in a relationship full of compromise is not purpose. Being unloved is not purpose. Being alone is not purpose. Listening to spiritual motherfuckers is not purpose. Having intangible energies around me is not purpose. Not understanding the mathematics and the physics of life is not purpose. Being in a world of feeling good, feeling bad is not purpose. But looking at the world today and seeing the problems and knowing that I have a solution to the problem makes me feel fucking great. I deal with a lot of fucked up people on the regular, but we have an understanding. They can trust in my knowledge base when they ask a question, and I can trust that they're willing to do the work. Because in reference to healing, no matter how dynamic of a speaker I am, no matter how many listeners and the viewership and engagement and people who buy my books, if people aren't ready to do the work for themselves, it doesn't matter about me. So in reality, I've learned to separate myself from dealing with people who just want to be in the feeling space. Oh, Kyrie, I loved your last video. Oh, Kyrie, I really like you. Has nothing to do with nothing for which I'm an educational type of person. I speak from facts. I speak from engineering. I speak from getting from point A to point B. I don't give a shit if you like me or don't like me or agree or disagree with my points. The reality of who I am and what I do is that I was sent here with a purpose. The reality of the conversations that come from out my mouth are just to tell people that spirituality is real. And if you want to feel bad, get the fuck off, get off my feed. Cause I done been through so much shit. And there was something in my depths that I found that was irrefutable, that lifted me up out of my slumber, out of my fucking ignorance, out of my negative emotions. And it wasn't found in nobody else. It was found deep within me. I had to stop giving a fuck about the world and start giving a fuck about me. And when you start giving a fuck about you, you start to see purpose. But the reality of seeing purpose is that it's a long fucking journey. I mean, I just feel like I'm beginning the journey. I done wrote 5 books. I feel like I'm just beginning. I done put out countless YouTube videos, done did countless readings, but today is the first day of my life. Today is the actual beginning. So, what the purpose of this conversation and the purpose of finding purpose is that the gooder your parents are, yes, gooder is a word, the more magnanimous your lineage is, the more magical you are, the more beautiful you are, the more profitable you are, the more fortunate you are, equates to how fucked up you are. It's directly correlated to how fucked up you are. The more destitute you are, the more poor you are, the more traumatized you are, the more spiritual you are. You don't know that it's a whole live demonic entity fucking your life up every single day. When you say, I feel bad, when you say, I am angry, when you say, I am in a fucked up position, you're not talking about yourself. That's not you. Somebody has infiltrated your mind. Somebody has infiltrated your parents' mind, your grandparents' mind. I don't know where it started at. But wherever it started at, it got killed out and snuffed out and passed on from generation to generation. And now you wake up feeling like shit because you don't know who you are. You under demonic influence, and it's called feelings, and it's called emotions, and it's called judgment. It's called, I can't stand my baby daddy. You don't understand that you under demonic influence? If you in a, like, you might have a mom and dad. They both worked hard, but they didn't pour into each other. They didn't communicate with each other. They didn't even fucking love each other. And this is who you trying to model your relationship after. Whole time it's a demonic influence. How about you know exactly what you want to do? How about you know exactly how you want to be loved and how you plan to love? Because that's a part of relationships too. A lot of y'all get into relationships and then think this shit is one-sided, like it's a one-way street. When you in a relationship, I don't care how fine you is, and you think because this existential quality that you possess gives a reason for a motherfucker to kiss your ass, the only sad thing about it is that the whole relationship is demonic and nobody can understand it. Napoleon Hill said the devil controls 98% of the population. That's what I'm referencing. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. It's 4 hours. It'll be the best 4 hours of your fucking life. So you can start to point out all of the demonic entities in your fucking life. But I'm going to tell you, when you really serious about spirituality, you will not put no spiritual nigga on a pedestal. Because as much as we love people and as much as we respect people, these people are confusing as fuck. They talking about this, they talking about that. There is no syncretism. They just going for what they know. Anything that's confusing is demonic. Anything that's confusing is demonic. If I talk about earth sign, I'm talking about physicality. If I'm talking about air, I'm talking about your mental. If I'm talking about water, I'm talking about your emotions. If I'm talking about fire, I'm talking about your passions, that which can't be described. It's a fire. It's not that confusing. However, if you went to McDonald's and it was a conscious nigga that was your register person, you would want to fight that nigga. Can I get a hamburger? Well, sometimes you can get a hamburger depending on if you want a hamburger. But if you didn't want a hamburger, you won't get a hamburger. Did you manifest a hamburger? Did you do a ritual for a hamburger? I see that you have $1.99 for that hamburger, but what about your ancestors? Did your ancestors bless it? Did you do chalk? Did you spin around in a circle 15 times before I give you the hamburger? You would be so mad at that conscious nigga, you would not put him on a pedestal. What's the etymology of the hamburger since you want it so bad? So why, when it comes to you coming in contact with your soul, you allow a motherfucker to beat your ears up? But you wouldn't accept that at McDonald's. You would punch him in the fucking mouth. What I'm saying is, you ask a conscious nigga a question and they give you a 50-50 answer all the time. It depends. What you mean it depends? I'm asking a question in reference to a situation and you give me a 50-50 answer. A 50-50 answer is not an answer at all if you really think about it. The crux of it is that most spiritual people are afraid to be wrong. But if you set your spirituality based upon fear, everything is fucking wrong. You get it? If you're afraid to be wrong, you would be all inconsequential with everything you're saying. Well, I mean, it depends. You know, if it's raining outside, you get wet. But if it ain't raining, I guess it'll be sunny, maybe cloudy. It just depends. So, I mean, the temperature in the springtime is usually 70 degrees. Bitch, I just want a hamburger. What the fuck? It say $1.99 on the screen. Here go $1.99. What's so complicated? I revert back to why I am the way that I am. I've been this way because I am this way. If you met me in real life, I might start talking to you just like this. It was real interesting. It's a real interesting thing about me. I start talking about, if you know me, you know that I'm not lying. I will start talking about some shit, or I'll start doing some shit. And if you're a chosen one, it's not just me. I see this in other people. I'm not saying that this is just a me thing. You might be like this too. You will start doing shit, and then you will start seeing the world do that shit. Then you start to think like, damn, is motherfuckers looking at me or following me? What the fuck? Like, motherfuckers copying me and shit? You don't know that you, me, people like me, real psychics, they know that you're a psychic by your birth date and your birth time. You was monitored before you even knew what the fuck. Your mom and your dad under demonic possession. Your mom and your dad, they just trying to pay the rent. They don't know shit about shit. They don't know nothing about trauma, uniting with their soul, none of that. But somehow, you a fucking indigo child. At some point, you gonna have to tap into your psychic abilities. Your psychic abilities don't equate with your fear. Your fear will have you in a stupid ass town. Look at the movie American Ultra. You might be in a situation where your parents is your handlers. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend is your handler. You got psychic gifts, but motherfuckers is telling you all the time, we can't leave here. We can't do this. We can't be like that. Oh, if you do that, something will happen. And you will be thinking like, what the fuck? You might start internalizing that shit. Well, yeah, that is right. Cause fear makes sense to a motherfucker sometimes. Yeah, that is right. I shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't go for what I know. I shouldn't be my best self. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't move to LA. I shouldn't move to Atlanta. I need to stay to fucking Ohio. I need to stay to fucking Idaho. I need to stay to fucking Oregon. Why the fuck? Why? Why? No, I don't need to go to Denver. I don't need to go to fucking Michigan. I need to stay right in this small ass town next to my mama. Demonic possession. Whole bust. Game over. It's motherfuckers that die unhappy, dog. If that don't scare you, that scared me. That's what I'm afraid of. Being with a motherfucker that don't really like me, for real. That shit would petrify me. Being alone. Petrifying. I'm willing to do what I gotta do internally to be in a relationship. Call me what you fucking want. Pick me, pick her, pick them. I don't give a fuck. I'ma pick somebody. What the fuck? I'm a human being. My whole creation was based upon two motherfuckers having sex. Of course I want to replicate that every fucking night. That's normal or natural. If you like, no, I need to be by myself, demonic possession. You are not outwitting the devil. The devil got you fucking hook, line, and sinker, dumbass. How the fuck? Alone? For what? Cause a nigga cheated on you in 2020? During the quarantine or some shit? You gonna spend the rest of your life alone. This makes sense to you. That's not your thought. That's a demonic thought. Sorry. You gotta learn relationship skills. You gotta learn coping skills. You gotta learn how to be tolerant. You gotta figure people out. You gotta pattern people. You gotta mirror people. Understand their psychology. Understand their trauma. Work with people. Build people up. Empower them. Pour into them. Oh, you just gonna be alone. That's your solution. Demonic. What the fuck? Oh, the next part. I'm so fucking smart. I'm so smart because I went to school. That's the next part. At what point in high school, middle school, grade school, was a person giving you individualized study? At what point was your inner nature being cultivated and curated so you can show up in the world as your best self? Oh, never, fam. You was getting fucking judged, prodded, poked, never vindicated, took out. You remember that kid that was in school one day, did some crazy shit, you ain't never seen him again? You done been in school with kids that been abused. You been in school with kids that been starved. But you want to be in school acting like you fucking valedictorian or some shit. That's like being the coolest nigga in jail. And our people, they'll mind you to suck they dick before they give up they goddamn. They'll be out here sucking dick outside in the cold with no clothes on than to give up they fucking education. White man gave that to him, fed it to him, and now you're lonely. Get on Facebook and type black, college, educated, get in their groups. They don't be talking about science, technology, education, mathematics. You know what them motherfuckers be talking about? How fucking single they is. All of them. Because they so smart, they dumb. Demonic. You got an A. A is for demonic. B is for demonic. C is for demonic. D is for demonic. F is for maybe you might be fucking famous one day. You criticizing your kids because they don't fit. You mad at your kids because they not demonic. Think about that shit. You mad at their kids because they not succeeding in the devil's school. Think about that shit. Did you study? What does kindergarten mean? You like, he start kindergarten. What the fuck do that mean? It literally mean fucking a place where fucking a zoo place. A human zoo in German. Kindergarten is a German word. You know how the Germans give it up. I'm not going to get into that. So basically, you training your child to be a Nazi, to be lonely, to be under demonic possession. And when they say, Mommy, I don't like school, you get mad. Son, I want you to be demonic. Why do they cancel Umar Johnson? Is Umar Johnson crazy? Or did Umar Johnson hit on the actual point that niggas couldn't actually stomach? See, I've been in this shit for a long time. I remember when Umar Johnson was on Remix, was on Know the Ledge Radio, before he was on the Breakfast Club, before they took him out and replaced him with a clone that was all clowning and shit. But when he had a legitimate school, when he had a legitimate idea, when he had a legitimate point, this is when they take your ass out. So, you know how it is. He was talking about the school to prison pipeline, for which a majority of our black boys is on. The prisons is filled with our black and brown boys, not because they grew up in negative environments, because they went to school. Their brains was conditioned. Because when you go to school and the plates that you eat, the bullshit, cow milk and the cheap ass pizza, them be the same plates that you sit with in prison. Same exact plates. Stand in line, get your food served. You don't do nowhere that but school and prison. Cafeterias is for prisoners and for students. There's no difference. That school is not teaching you. I learned how to balance my credit, not from school, from fucking YouTube. What the fuck? It ain't, what the fuck? I'm just now figuring it out. That's my truth. But shit, it wasn't because I was in school. They wasn't teaching me about credit and debit and you're 18, you're about to graduate. Get you a credit card. Pay 3% of it. By the time you're 35, you can have as much credit as you fucking want. No, they say take your ass to college and incur $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 to $100,000 worth of fucking debt. And then you trying to say that you not demonic. How that work? You get the credit card when you 18, you max it out. It's simple. These things ain't bad. You go to college, see, it's two sets of people in college. It's the foreigners and it's the black people. Then it's the white people who kind of teeter on both sides of the spectrum. But the foreigners is in college and they is not fucking around with you niggas at all. They are fucking in that bitch getting they fucking learn on. You hear me? Learning the fuck out of some shit because they about to make tons of money, nigga, and live good. Then it's the niggas. Got your football players getting money off the damn boosters. You got everybody else trying to party, have a good time. Motherfuckers not really applying themselves for real. Trying to get the easy way out on shit all the fucking time. You know, motherfuckers not even realizing what's happening. This is fucking transformational shit. You can choose some shit that can change your life. Like, you shouldn't be in no college course taking no fucking actual fucking subject matter till you figure out, first of all, is motherfuckers hiring doing this shit. Second of all, how much is motherfuckers getting paid doing this shit? Cause if your ass in college for fucking psychology, nigga, when have you ever heard a nigga saying, I got hired for this psychology job? Never. Ever. In your life, nigga. Niggas got a psychology degree to goddamn work at motherfucking Speedway. Real talk. So, you gotta be, like, there's nothing wrong with school, nothing wrong with alcohol, nothing wrong with having fun and shit like that. I'm not like that type of person. I have more fun than most people. But at the end of the day, it's really important to understand liberal arts. How the fuck you going to fucking graduate with a liberal arts degree? What was the last time a nigga said, I just got this job as a museum curator, nigga? You don't know nobody that work at a museum. Everybody got liberal arts goddamn degrees. Whole system demonic. You better be in school for something about computers, cyber security, fucking information technology, nigga. You better know some shit. You better be talking to niggas with tangible shit to offer them. You looking good. You having pussy is not tangible. Some of y'all, you niggas, you better have some fucking tangible goods to offer these women. You want to date. You want to fuck them so bad. Have some fucking cash about yourself. Do some shit where it don't matter. Spend a stacky on some shit and act like it ain't a thing. Y'all niggas be wondering about, well, if your friend come, is she gonna pay for herself? Fuck. You had a whole threesome opportunity, but your ass cheap and broke. So, really, it's not hard. If you're in a relationship and it's hard and it's confusing, that's because y'all two motherfuckers ain't got no purpose. If you in a career and you got a job that you fucking hate, your career don't got no fucking purpose, and that's a fucking problem, dog. That's a problem. To wake up, like, I realized that. I didn't know that. I thought it was something noble about doing some fuckity fuck shit for a paycheck. Taking the first job that a nigga give me and shit like that. Never being able to get my hustle on because I'm just afraid of being poor. And that led me to be super poor. You got to take risks. You got to leverage your family, your friends, your relationship. And you got to create tangible goods, come up with a tangible service by understanding information and education, teach people and help people in a way that they feel like this actually helped me. If I say, what's your purpose? And you say, I'm trying to help people, fucking block me, fam. Act like you never heard of me before. Because I'm tired of that shit. How the fuck you gonna help people? What the fuck do that mean? Help people do what? My purpose is to help people. Help people what? Help me get... But no, life is crazy, bro. Life is crazy, crazy, crazy. And if you don't have a way, my thing is, we all should be building bridges. We all can see spots where point A is trying to get to point B, and you could be that bridge from point A to point B. Of course you want to help people. That's fucking natural, because you want to be helped. But how the fuck is you helping people? Like, when I ask that question, what is your purpose? I don't want to hear to help people. Cause that's bullshit, fam. You on bullshit. You is on bullshit. It don't matter. You don't give a fuck. You toxic. Block me. Stop talking to me. Act like I don't exist. Cause that's the worst cliche of all time. I want to help people. Help people do what? That's all I'm saying. We so used to consciousness and, motherfuckers, half-assing us all the time that we never get into a space where we realize that our spirituality is actually tangible and valid and something that could be actually dealt with. So when you actually start to, like, say for instance, you start to do your chakra work, you start to do your shadow work, you start to understand these things about yourself. When people start to fuck with you, it's going to be hard for you to fuck with them. Especially if they acting like they spiritual too. Because for me, I'm just a nigga who really ain't shit for real. But when I involve spirituality in my life, I'm like a completely different person. That's I realize my character defects and my faults and the way that I show up, the way that I'm fucking up. And by the grace of fucking God, because I thought I was noble, I thought it was right and exact to be a fucked up person. I thought it was some level of truth to my negative feelings, my disconnectedness, my feelings of being out of sorts or being a slave. I thought it was something noble. I thought the day was going to come that my life was going to change. Somebody was going to see me and change me and make it all better for me. And the reality was all of that shit was within myself. And everything external was demonic. One of the things, y'all, it was like that really woke me up was once I realized that niggas really didn't know shit. Like for real, like niggas didn't know shit. What I mean by that is like, I thought niggas knew shit. I thought people knew something and I didn't know nothing. So that put me on a hunt to find that for which I didn't know. And that was very traumatic and that was very hurtful. And the reason why it was traumatic and hurtful, because all of the questions that I needed to answer were literally within myself. An example that comes to mind of like soul grouping and being in your purpose is that a lot of people may know me and deal with me, but a lot of people don't. So I can be at a park bench and 99% of the people is going to walk past me. But the 1% that stop and fuck with me and deal with me, that's a part of my purpose. What the ignorance of it was imagining or thinking that purpose was everybody and everything. When the reality was, it's only a small segment, it's only a small niche, and from that, it spreads out. So you heal the healers. And then them people heal the people in their life. And it just spreads and spreads and spreads. You might be the root of that. I might be the root of a lot of healing. When I tell y'all, Kyrie Anthony knows and has read for some powerful people. From mayors, no cap, mayors of cities, right? Engineers, chemical engineers, trying to think, what's this, nuclear, something with nuclear. I'm talking about brilliant motherfuckers. More brilliant than I'll ever be. I'm talking about world-renowned artists, entertainers, millionaires, porn stars, actors, working actors that you be seeing in movies all the time. I done read for a lot of motherfuckers. And all I'm saying is, everybody, two things. They be asking me shit. They be like, I need your help. And I be looking at them like, shit, can I get a loan too? I know you paid for a reading, but a loan would be nice too. You feel me? The second thing is, no matter where you at, no matter who you are, I can say I can say this definitively. We all got our problems. So, it's two things. You either waiting for perfection or you solving your problems. Purpose is waking up and solving your problems. You don't need to get a reading. You don't need to take a course. You don't got to hear what a motherfucker need to say to find purpose. You don't need to read a book. Nigga, you got fucking all types of character defects, all types of negative energies and entities attached to you that be having you feeling a certain type of way. Start working on that shit. You in a whole toxic relationship trying to figure out your purpose. The toxic relationship is your purpose. Your relationship with your kids ain't right. And you trying to figure out what your purpose is. Deal with that shit. It's real simple, dog. Purpose should be simple. But like the initial point of purpose is always working through your fear. Because sometimes we get into relationships based on fear and attach and sustain those relationships, not because we love one another, because we afraid to be alone or we afraid to lose that person. And that's a toxic relationship. That's why 98% of relationships and people are under demonic influence, because they're motivated by fear. They're not motivated by love. Very rarely, I've never heard it. Have you ever, correct me if I'm wrong, have you just heard of a regular ass person, a regular ass couple talking about how much and how often they pour into each other? More than often, motherfuckers is bickering and bantering, judging, and talking shit about each other, but at the same time, they laying in the same bed. That's like the weirdest conversation to have with people, and I'm always consistently having it. Pour into him, pour into her. Ooh, that's deep, hood. But what the fuck you talking about? Like, pour into her, like get a pitcher of water, tell her to open her mouth. Oh, you talking about the Dr. Emoto where you charge the water. So I say, I love you, I love you, I love you to the water, and then I feed her like a sea animal. Tell her to open her mouth and tilt her head back. That's what you mean by pour into her? Oh, you mean listen to her and cater to her every need and want and desire and never tell her no. Oh, I can't do all of that, man. I got ego and pride. This relationship is based on fear, not on actually serving my wife and making sure my wife is in bliss in heaven and making sure that we have a life to be envied. I don't want to do all of that. I was just hoping that she kissed my ass from time to time. And you talking about pouring hot water down her throat? I'm confused, hood. I don't know what you talking about. You on some other shit. And my thing is just like, relationships are not places for compromise. Relationships are not places where it's tit for tat. Relationships, just because your mom and dad was toxic, don't mean that you can, have that little boy kissing your ass every day, giving that little boy attitude because you deciding to make choices and decisions that don't work out for the betterment of your mental health. So you mad at your boyfriend or your husband. And the reality, this is the demonic shit too. Y'all be having boyfriends, move in with y'all boyfriends, nest with y'all boyfriends, sync up with y'all boyfriends, and the whole time he be your fucking boyfriend. get pregnant by your boyfriend. Whole time he your boyfriend. That's your boyfriend. Like, that shit crazy. He a boy, that's a friend. And you giving him all of this goddamn husband energy. He either gonna be your husband or he gonna be your client at the end of the day. You should treat niggas like that. You either a husband or a client. You got an hourly rate. And you be like, Hood, I ain't no hoe. Well, why would you not be a hoe, but you would be a free pussy hoe? A free pussy hoe with kids. That don't make sense to me. So if a man is in your presence and he not trying to be your husband, he wasting your time, he want to be your boyfriend, he want to shack up, give him a daily rate or an hourly rate. And if he can't pay it, then you need not to fuck with him because he gonna ruin it for your husband. I would respect any woman to say, yeah, I'm trying to get married, but I also trying to, get paid and have fun and, enjoy life. And I travel, I see the world, and I get paid for that. Because if a man taking you out to eat, that's more of what an escort do. That's literally what an escort do. An escort a man. She get paid. She eat for free. And 10 times out of 10, they not even having sex afterwards. It's women that escorts. I'm just saying. Think more professionally when you dating so you can get the most, not the lesser. And that's very important because I'm going to tell you, when you feel like you like a guy and you give him the world and you give him all of your pussy and he don't got no fucking standards for which he is giving in to you, he's going to lose respect for you eventually. And the nigga that was eating your booty hole is acting brand new and you can't understand why. You didn't charge the nigga. I'm respecting anybody that charge me. Because if I can't afford it, I can't fuck with you. But if I can afford it, I'ma respect it. But this is going to save you and spare you for your husband. Let me tell you something. Hoes don't have a problem getting married when it's all said and done. It's the girls who never dealt with a nigga for real, thought they was a good girl, and they was waiting on Prince Charming to come save the fucking day. So when she finally get Prince Charming, she don't got no experience. She think all niggas is players. She don't have no real idea of how a man handle himself. She might have a brother or an uncle or a cousin, might be a square ass nigga, but she like a thug ass nigga, and she thinking that the thug ass nigga gonna be like the square ass nigga if she just kind of tame him and shit. Just straight demonic. So getting into a real relationship with a man, you would have had to understand a variety of men. It's stinky niggas, it's clean niggas, it's niggas that get their hair cut every week, it's niggas that wear white drawers, it's niggas that wear colored drawers because they wear dark colored drawers because they more nastier, they got more doo-doo in their butt. But the niggas that wear white drawers, they more cleaner. That's a man that you want. You want a man that wear white drawers because he more cleaner. He wipe his ass, he wash his ass properly. The dark colored draw nigga, he trying to hide shit, right? But you ain't gonna notice this, but you gonna have to start seeing niggas in underwears, right? And this is why a hoe is always gonna win versus a good girl. Cause a hoe knows the man. He clean, he respectable, he got a bald head. A bald head is a plus. You wanna get a nigga with a bald head, especially if you want a daughter. Niggas with bald heads, they tend to be the best type of niggas, if you want to be honest. Niggas with waves, niggas with dreads, it's probably not going to end well. Might start off well because you attracted to him, but the nigga with the bald head going to be the nigga that pick up the baby from the daycare. Just Go to the daycare and count all the niggas with dreads and waves that pull up, and then count all the niggas with the clean shaves that pull up. The clean shaves gonna outnumber the dreadheads and the waves and the afros by a long shot. I didn't write the book, ladies and gentlemen. I did not write the book. I just read the book. And so I'm just giving y'all facts. If you want a husband, get a bald-headed nigga. They more likely to marry your ass. But yeah. I was just reading this book, man, and I was so charged up. Like, man, I gotta share, man, because this shit right in line with what I've been experiencing. I hope y'all enjoyed it. But I'm about to get back to work, take care of some business, and y'all hold it down. Peace.